using the CATIA software. We hope that you have gone through our previous videos, as it will be really helpful for you if you're going to advance in the use of CATIA. However, today we will start off by using new commands. We are discussing Sketcher and which are the different tools that we can use to create a 2D drawing in the Sketcher. As we have already learned that after opening the CATIA software, we will start off with the workbench of mechanical design and then into the part design, where we have opened up one of the planes to draw the sketches. We have discussed in video number 2 all the tools that are required, and we have started with the use of different tools that are required to create a 2D drawing. Today our focus will be on circular based features. In last video we have seen the linear geometrical constraints that we can use to create a 2D drawing. Today we are going to have it with the circles as well. So we will start off with the first tool, that is a circle. A circle which simply has a radius to be defined. You can just simply click on 25. Remember, it is the radius, and frequently we will be using diameter and radius, so do keep in touch that what we are defining. So we are going to have it with radius. By default it is mm, so 25 mm, and then I have to just define its coordinates. I can just simply place it in the third quadrant, the second or the fourth, whichever quadrant I can have it. So we will start off by keeping it at the origin, and this is how it will be. So a circle, and I can just simply pop the dimensions out there, and if I double click on the dimensions, it usually gives us these options. Here we can see radius. I can click on the arrow and we can change it to diameter as well, and then the diameter is by default set it as it is. We can simply change the diameter by clicking 100 if we want, and then clicking the enter button, and we'll have it. So while learning these options, we are also learning how to define dimensions of a particular geometry as well. So after circle, we will move up to another one of these options, that is a 3-point circle. Now what is a 3-point circle? We simply have to determine and give 3 points, any 3 points, and then we can simply create a circle. So if I click on the first point and move the cursor to give the second point, so here it is the first point and then the second point, and then I will just simply click on the third point, and here it is, we have a circle. So we require 3 points to create a circle, and then selecting and then delete. So it is really simple. We simply have to have 3 points already present, or if we can simply give it in whichever direction that we want. Next option now is the origin based circle. Now what is an circle definition? We simply have to give the particular directions to it, that is the h and the v. So if I define h as 5 and v as 5 as well, and then it also asks us the radius, so radius I will give as 25, and then either clicking on OK or enter button, we will have a circle which will be well and truly defined, because we have already seen that we have defined the center of it by having the option enabled here using the coordinate system. So this is how the option works. As we can see, we just simply have to name the coordinates relating to the origin, and we will have the circle. We can simply have the radius as well if we define the radius as well. Our next option, however, is tangent, tritangent circle. Now what is a tritangent circle, for which we will require 3 lines. So first of all, this circle cannot be drawn directly. We require 3 lines, and the circle will be created in reference to 3 lines. So let us first of all draw 3 lines using the profile. Here it is. Okay, now either press escape or I will directly click back on profile. So here we have 3 lines, and now we will use the tritangent circle. So for defining the tritangent circle, I just simply have to click on these three lines. We don't have to give us radius of the circle. The software by default creates a circle that is with reference to all these three lines. So we simply have to click on these three lines. That is the first one, now the second one, and then the third one, and the circle is automatically created. Here we can see the circle is automatically created. It actually uses the geometry which we have learned in 10th standard. If you are really immune to the theorem, that is external tangents drawn from an external point of a circle are always congruent. So it is one of the theorems that actually defines this very particular aspect. So it is simple. We require three lines, and that's it. A circle can be created as well. Our next option, however, brings us to an arcs. Our next three options are actually based on arcs. So what is an arc? An arc is actually a particular circle that is not truly defined. It is either just a simple piece of a circle. So these are the arcs, and as we can see, it is a 3-point arc. So it is actually creating just a simple arc if we define any 3 points. So I will just click on first point, second point, and the third point, and an arc is created. An arc is also an important feature as well. While we create different geometries, as we can see, circles are mainly used for connecting rods, piston rings. We require circles. Then we have cylinders. So we require a good knowledge of circles as well, and arcs as well, while we create figures such as piston rings, etc. Our next option is another one, that is a 3-point arc starting with limits. Now what is a 3-point arc starting with the limits? We simply have to give 3 points, and then we have to give limits to it, and there it is. We have an arc being created. We just simply have to define 3 points in whichever space we want. We want to be on the positive side, so we are usually using the first quadrant. You can also use the third quadrant, no worries. Our next option is again a simple arc. We just simply have to define the angles, the radius, and there it is. I'll just define the radius as 25 mm, and then I can just simply see an arc being created. Here you can see it, an arc being created. I urge you all to practice these particular tools and commands, which will be helpful for us in later series. Where in the future videos we will be learning how to create different geometries like pentagon, etc., which are actually not present in any of these tools. So do keep in touch and do practice all these tools, which will be helpful for us in creating complex parts later on in a month's time, when we will be here in advanced stage as well. In next video we will discuss different options like spline and ellipses in part to come. But for now, we hope that you are enjoying our videos, and do keep in touch. For now, it's this is where we get over. Thanks for joining for today's video, and do keep in touch as well. Thank you. Goodbye.